My name is Justine Medina. I am an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation. I'm also Ho-Chunk and Menominee. My role at UCI, I am an admissions counselor within the Office of Undergraduate Admissions, and I focus on Native American outreach and also transfer. And today we have Jesse, who will introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. I am Jesse Holt. I am a fourth-year PhD candidate here at UC Irvine in the biophysics department, and I am a member of the local Hashman Native community.
Awesome. Thank you. Right now, we're going to state the land acknowledgement and state why it's important, and we definitely hope that you can incorporate this in the future.
So the Office of Inclusive Excellence Recognition Program and the UCI campuses are within the ancestral and unceded shared territories of the Hashman and Tongva peoples. The region extends from the Santa Ana River to Aliso Creek and beyond. As members of a land-grant institution, we acknowledge the Hashman and Tongva people as the traditional land caretakers whose efforts to steward and protect the land continue today.
Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that brings us here today.
It's important for the UCI community to acknowledge the original caretakers of the land as a necessary first step towards honoring the Native people and begin the healing process. The Hashman and Tongva and other Native people are often invisible in higher education spaces, and if our people's history is taught, it's often taught that we do not exist today.
The land acknowledgement recognizes that we are still here. When the UCI community participates in acknowledging the Native lands, they recognize the pain that our Native communities have faced so that we can all learn, work, and enjoy the UCI campus today.
Thank you, Justine Medina. Colleagues, participants, and instructors, thank you again for your commitment, your engagement, and especially your honesty. By design, all participants have taken the core course, Thriving. This course, by no means exhaustive, is a co-exploration of how different communities experience the campus and how we can improve. While to complete the program, only one elective is required. Some elected to enroll in both. Wellness, with its focus on what supports, and I would add, stands in the way of well-being, and community, with its emphasis on who or what defines it, and I'd add, is all too often overlooked or left unsaid. This week, our conversations were revealing. The current pandemic and the persistence of anti-Black racism have brought to light for the first time for some, and for others, exacerbated and deepened long-standing inequities. This brings us back to a key question of the program. How can we improve? As a university within the university, it is my hope we can continue to use this program as a lever to examine and take action to improve the University of California, an institution that was conceived and set in motion in a different century that is not, and sadly in many ways, is still like our own. In the meantime, I hope you take a moment today to reflect and take care of yourself and others. Colleagues, again, thank you. And now, I'd like to introduce Raven Stewart.
Hi, my name is Raven Stewart, and I serve as the program coordinator of the Cross Cultural Center. And I also had the wonderful privilege to serve as an instructor in the Inclusive Excellence program. My class focused on the Black experience at UCI and asked the question, is UCI doing enough to serve the Black community? Today, given recent events, both covered and not covered by the mainstream media, that question is one that I think we could all spend some time considering. I believe that it's often easier to imagine the unpleasantness of anti-Blackness in all its forms as living far away in distant places like Minneapolis, Minnesota, or Tulsa, Oklahoma, or anywhere really in the Deep South. But the uncomfortable truth is that the historical trauma and the unaddressed pain of the Black community also live in Irvine. In fact, they live and thrive right here at UCI. And that is evidenced in the admission rates for Black students. That's evidenced in the unaddressed brutalization of a Black alum who was tackled to the ground by a UPD officer while coming to pick up her transcripts during a peaceful protest. Or even in the attrition rates, or what I like to call the mass Black exodus of Black women, faculty, and staff that no one is questioning or even noticing. These issues are not far away, but they're happening right at our doorstep. And the sad reality is that the conversations about these and so many other issues in the Black community and other communities simply aren't happening. And I believe that that is what the Inclusive Excellence Program aims to do, to give members of the UCI community an environment that prompts some introspection, that challenges folks to question their beliefs and investigate their contribution to the state of social equity for our campus and our community. And for those reasons, I celebrate each and every person who participated, who did the work of taking a long, hard look in the mirror, and making room for a new and challenging perspective. Everyone who stepped outside of themselves and thought about someone else's experience and how they can use their power and agency, positionality, to change those experiences for the better. I believe that those are the hallmarks of leadership that don't often get the praise and celebration and acknowledgement that they deserve. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge you, the participants, for showing up and for doing the work, for making yourself and this campus and the world that we all share a little bit better. So here's to you, and congratulations to you all.
And now, I'd like to introduce Elisa Barrios Mateo.
My name is Elizabeth Barrios Mateo, and I am a graduate student in the social sciences. I came to this certificate program as somebody who felt very new to campus, only in my second year, and I wanted to get more involved and do more to advance equity. I wanted to first hear, of course, from people who are already doing that, and this was an opportunity to do that. In the process, not only did I hear from people who are combating hate, racism, inequality, and prejudice on the front lines, but also from people who were faculty members, undergraduate students, fellow graduate students, and professional staff who were interested in doing the same. They were interested in using their role to making sure they were doing everything they could to advance inclusive excellence values. And so we had very meaningful discussions on topics that, of course, are important and often heavy. And even though we did not walk away with all the answers, we walked away thinking about how to take theory into action. And that is a key step. So using these inclusive excellence values, I had an opportunity to collaborate with Deirdre O'Reilly from the Disability Service Center and DJ Brown from the LGBTQ Resource Center. We came together and developed a presentation on identity-based language. And this was an intersectional approach to talk about why language matters and how it matters to different communities and how we can all work to create safe spaces, inclusive spaces, where people feel honored and recognized and affirmed by the language that we use. And so we were going to present that at the Student Affairs Conference here at UCI. Of course, that has been postponed, but it's just one example of the many collaborations that emerge when people are committing to a vision that advances equity. And so this has been made possible because of the space that you have all co-created with me through these regular times of discussion and learning and unlearning. So I thank you so much for holding that space. I thank you for what you're already planning on doing with what you've learned and with the people that you've met. And of course, I'm excited to hear about the development of those initiatives and to continue to explore how we may collaborate in the future I recommend this space for others who are curious, who are beginning, or maybe very advanced in their journey in social change here at UCI, but are eager to find others and to build networks that understand and value and leverage strategic pillars and vision to create environments that promote academic learning, that promote personal growth as well. So I wish you all well. It's been incredible to share this space with you over the course of a year. And I can't wait to reunite and to keep in touch. Happy summers to everyone, and cheers to this course continuing in the fall.
On behalf of Chancellor Howard Gilman and Executive Vice Chancellor Hal Stern, I want to welcome you to this important occasion as we recognize individuals who have completed the UCI Inclusive Excellence Certificate Program. This inaugural cohort of graduates totaled more than 120 people, exceeding my wildest expectations. By so doing, each of you have seized the opportunity to augment your capacity to be agents on behalf of inclusive excellence. In truth, in your current roles, whether as undergraduates, graduate students, staff, and faculty employees, you already are engaged in helping to build and sustain a campus community where all expect equity, support diversity, practice inclusion, and honor free speech. Indeed, the 20 hours of coursework and discussion emphatically represent a commitment to grow as leaders while helping to transform the campus. In acknowledging your time and commitment, I want to thank you. And I want to thank you together with our inspiring facilitators in creating brave spaces for candid conversations about the tensions between our campus principles of inclusive excellence and the lived realities that our students and coworkers navigate each day. The insight provided by our instructors, I do hope, help to expand your lens about the people who work, learn, teach, and discover. The brave spaces and the conversations help to create a university within a university, one where we share knowledge and perspective precisely because of our rich diversity of backgrounds and perspectives. To this end, I want to remind you that as graduates of the Inclusive Excellence Certificate Program, you will be eligible for applying for funding to pilot interventions to advance our Inclusive Excellence Action Plan. Inclusive excellence matters. The current demonstrations in support of Black lives and protests against the death of Black men and women, as well as transgender and queer people in police custody, abundantly demonstrate this. Your dedication, together with the augmented insight afforded by this course of study, will help our campus community to confront anti-Black racism while building a campus where all African Americans can thrive. In closing, inclusive excellence is about all of us and for all of us. Thank you for your dedication and congratulations.